Hello and welcome to How to Play Chicago, presented by GatherTogetherGames.com. This video will cover how to play the card game Chicago. The video will start with the general concepts and gameplay, and then get into more of the details for the game. The game is played with 2 to 4 players. To play, you need a 52-card deck. Each player is dealt 5 cards, 1 card at a time. The object of the game is to score points by having the best poker hand in each phase and by winning the last trick in the trick-taking phase. Only the best poker hand each round scores points, and the point amount is based on the rank of the poker hand. 5 points are awarded to the winner of the last trick in the trick-taking phase. The poker hands are ranked with the best being a royal flush, which is an ace down to the 10 in the same suit, then a straight flush, which is 5 cards in sequence in the same suit, then 4 of a kind, then a full house, which is 3 of a kind with a pair. If multiple players have a full house, the player with the best 3 of a kind wins the hand, then a flush, which is 5 cards in the same suit, then a straight, which is 5 cards in sequence, then a 3 of a kind, then 2 pair, then a pair. Ace is always high. Going back to the hand that was dealt earlier, I have flipped up each player's cards for you to see. In an actual game, you will keep your cards hidden from the other players. In the first phase, players try to get the best poker hand. Starting with the player left of the dealer, players will discard as many cards as they want. Player 2 will discard 2 cards, and the dealer gives player 2 2 new cards. Play moves to player 3, who will discard 4 cards. The dealer gives player 3 4 new cards. Player 1 then discards 3 cards and deals himself 3 new cards. Starting with player 2, players announce their poker hands or pass. Player 2 announces a pair. Player 3 passes with nothing. Player 1 also passes with nothing. Player 2 wins phase 1. Phase 2 is the same as phase 1. Each player will discard as many cards as wanted, and the dealer will give the player new cards for their discarded cards. Again, player 2 announces his poker hand first with a 2 pair. Player 3 passes as his pair doesn't beat player 2's 2 pair. Player 1 also passes with just a pair. Player 2 wins phase 2. Phase 3 begins the same as the previous phases. Each player will discard as many cards as wanted, and the dealer will give the players new cards for their discarded cards. Before poker hands are announced, a trick-taking phase is played. The goal of the trick-taking phase is to win the last trick. The player left of the dealer starts the first trick. Player 2 plays the jack of spades. Each other player must play a card in the lead suit if possible. Player 3 follows the lead suit by playing the 5 of spades. Player 1 follows the suit by playing the 2 of spades. Player 2 wins the trick with the highest ranking card in the lead suit. The player that wins the trick leads the next trick. Player 2 leads the next trick with the 10 of diamonds. Player 2 and player 1 follow the lead suit, and player 1 wins the trick with the highest ranking card. Player 1 leads each of the last 3 tricks with aces and wins all 3 tricks with the highest ranking card. Player 1 will score points for winning the last trick. After all the tricks are completed, each player's cards are spread out and the player with the highest poker hand wins phase 3. Player 2 has a 2 pair. Player 3 also has a 2 pair, but player 2's is better with a high pair of queens outranking player 3's high pair of jacks. But player 1 wins phase 3 with a 3 of a kind and aces outranking both 2 pairs. The player with the best poker hand in each phase will score points based on the rank of the poker hand. In phase 1, player 2 scores 1 point for the pair. In phase 2, player 2 scores 2 more points for the 2 pair. Player 1 scores 5 points for winning the last trick in the trick-taking phase, and in phase 3, player 1 scores 3 points for the 3 of a kind. The scores are recorded. The first player to score 52 points or more wins the game. During the trick-taking phase, players must follow the lead suit whenever possible. If you think you can win all 5 tricks during the trick-taking phase, you can announce Chicago before the first trick. If you successfully take 5 tricks, you are awarded 15 points. If you lose 1 or more tricks after announcing Chicago, you lose 15 points and the round is immediately over. No one scores for the trick-taking phase and the last poker hand is not scored. A player must have 15 points before announcing Chicago, as no player is allowed to have negative points during the game. If a player breaks up a winning poker hand after the first or second phase, the winning hand must be shown to all players before the cards are discarded. If a player has 46 or more points after a round, the player is not allowed to discard cards starting in the next round. That wraps up How to Play Chicago. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and get more game tutorials by subscribing to our channel, Gather Together Games. Thanks for watching.